Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Today I'm sharing with you all of the things that I bought for this holiday season. So I didn't actually buy that much, kind of like last year, but I did get some really cool things that I've been wanting for a long time. So it was my birthday in November, and I received this Turner Classic Movies Christmas in the Movies book, which I'm completely obsessed with. I've been wanting this for a while, so I asked for it for my birthday, and I'm super excited that I got it. I'm pretty sure all of my favorites are represented in this book, but there is some movies that I don't think I've seen before, one of which is this movie called The Apartment. So I guess maybe not all of these movies would be considered a Christmas movie, but they all kind of have Christmas in them in some way. I don't know. There's so much debate over what a Christmas movie is and what it isn't, but I just really, really love it a lot. It's a really, really cool book. It's a Wonderful Life is actually my favorite Christmas movie. I have to watch it every year or it doesn't feel like Christmas. I usually watch it on Christmas Eve. It was like a tradition in my family. But I love this book so much. I'm thinking about getting, because Turner Classic Movies has a whole bunch of different books. So now I kind of want to collect them all because I just think they're really cool reference books to have, but also cool to display. This one's like controversial because there's a controversial part in the movie, but it's one of my favorites. I have to watch that every year as well. And then I also got this mid-century Christmas book. Now this is a book that I have been wanting for a really long time, and I'm so glad that I have it now because it's even better than I thought it would be. I also got this one for my birthday, and I'm very, very happy to have it. I haven't even fully read the whole thing yet, but I frequently have been flipping through it because it just makes me so happy. There's so many cool different sections in here, like from Christmas wrapping paper and just a whole section on tinsel and different homemade gifts you can make, and just, I don't know, it's just such a really, really cool book to have, especially if you are into mid-century anything, but especially if you're into mid-century Christmas. So I think I mentioned I didn't really get that much. I didn't really go thrifting very often in this past year, but John actually found this book, Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, and I thought it was really cool. We collect old books, so he saw it and picked it up, and it's actually really cool. I'm thinking about reading some of it every night maybe in December. And then at the same time he also found these glass ornaments. Just one was the kind of indented style, but they were only $1, he said, so he picked them up. And then I picked up these they're Santa lights. Our hardware store has a whole line called Noma Heritage that's kind of vintage inspired lights and things, and I think for the past 2 or 3 years now, I've been trying to get one or two things. So I got the Santa lights. They were full price, but these lights, just these colored cone lights, were on clearance for I think $6. So I got 2 packs. I'm kind of wishing that I would have gotten more, but I thought 2 would be enough, but now I'm oh, I should have got more because I could use them outside to decorate the house, but that's okay. I'm happy with getting these ones. I really like how they make it look like the vintage style packaging as well. So the next thing I got was these tumbling snowmen made by Arnell's, I believe, and I actually ordered these from eBay. These are so special to me because my grandma has the same ones. They're a little bit different coloring, but it's one of the only things she still has from my childhood, like for Christmas stuff. And even though I would love to have her original ones, I just know that's not going to happen because everybody in the family wants them. So I don't think it's worth trying to fight for them. But I wanted to have my own version because they remind me so much of her and so much of my childhood that they're just really special to me. Originally there was 5 in this set, but I did find these 3, and I'm hoping that I can just keep adding to it over the years. I am going to visit her soon, and when this video goes live, I believe I will be at her house. So I'm gonna take photos. I plan on sharing a lot on Instagram over the holiday season. So my Instagram account is linked below, but I do believe that I will be at her house when this video goes live, and I plan on taking photos of hers. So that'll be over on my Instagram if you want to check it out. And this was another eBay purchase, and this is actually another thing that my grandma had when I was a kid. She doesn't have it anymore, at least to my knowledge she doesn't. I haven't seen it for years, and I think if she did, she probably would have given it to me, because I have asked about it before. But this Alpine Village church by Regency, this is like one of the main things I remember and I associate with Christmas from when I was a kid, and so I was really happy to find it. Also, it's in amazing condition. I don't even think it was ever used before because the cord was really wound up, almost like the manufacturer had done it. I had undone it a little bit before this video because I wanted to make sure that it worked, but it was as if it had never been used. The only thing that was I guess wrong with it was the light bulb that was included had corroded, so I just put in this one from one of my light sets I had bought. And another eBay purchase was the actual Alpine Village. I believe this was by Regency as well, and this was popular in the 1970s, I believe. They maybe still made them in the 80s too, I'm not sure, but they're sort of like Putz style houses, but they were made from plastic, and you just put, a light bulb in the back. This was another thing that my grandma had when I was a kid and that she doesn't have anymore, but again, it just reminds me so much of my childhood that I don't know, after I've had like a really rough year, so I decided to buy a few of these things on eBay as like a Christmas gift to myself, and they've already made me extremely happy, so it was well worth the money I spent. I'd been looking for all 3 of those things, like thrifting for years, and never come across them, so I figured it was okay to go ahead and buy online. So I got the set new, still in the box, but then I also purchased these additional houses, just not in a box, that someone was selling. So it was all of the houses, I believe, and just no church, but I mean, it's okay. So I just, basically have extra houses now. So I created a big village with them, which I'm loving so much. And so I also picked up a whole bunch of ornaments just from the Facebook Marketplace. These are not vintage that I know of, I don't think so. But a few of the sets kind of had vintage looking ornaments, and these are all made of plastic, obviously, which is what I use on my tree because I have a cat. But these ones that say Merry Christmas remind me of ones that I had that were made from glass that were actually vintage. So that's kind of what caught my eye in this set, but I also do like these striped red and gold ones, and I did end up using them on my tree. This pack, I really liked these long ones. They reminded me of vintage glass ornaments, except they're made from plastic. And then it had a few that were kind of the indented style, which I really like. I do also really like the pine cone ones too. I actually used quite a bit of the ornaments from this set on my tree, and I like the way that it turned out. And then it did have some snowflakes in there as well, but overall, it was a really, really great deal. So even if I don't end up using all of them, there was enough of them that I did end up using that I really liked. So this bag has actually been sitting in my closet for months, like before we even moved into this house. So I was out thrifting for the house, and I went to the store that I used to work in, and my boss was there, and he was like, oh, hey, I have something in the car that I haven't brought in yet. I think you'll like it. And it was this bag full of these lights, which my best guess would be that they were from maybe the 80s, but probably the 90s. They're from Kmart. And we haven't had Kmart in Canada since the late 90s, I think. So, like, they have to be at least that old, I'm assuming. But, they're not, like, super old, but they do look older, I guess. Anyway, he gave them to me for, I think, the 4 boxes for $10, which I thought was a good deal. Turns out, now judging by the light bulbs, some of them looked older than others, but it turns out that most of the light bulbs were completely like corroded, and I plugged in the strands. One of them started smoking immediately, and I just got really freaked out. So I have a plan to use the light bulbs in a different way, but in any case, it was fine. And then after I filmed this original part, I went to my local Salvation Army for the first time, and they have an entire room dedicated to Christmas, and they had an entire laundry basket filled with these lights, which I had actually been looking for, because now that we have a house, we have room to put these in our windows. So I was able to find enough for all of our windows, extremely cheap. They were like $2 and $3. I love these ones with the little reindeers on them. I think they're so cute. So I was just so extremely happy to find all of these. Just from looking at the plugs, I would guess these are from the 70s. I don't know, maybe later than that, but they kind of just had that 70s look to me. Not like the old ones, but my grandma also had these when I was growing up as a child, which she sadly no longer has. But again, they're just a big reminder of Christmas from childhood, and I don't know, it just makes me really happy. And from that same trip, I found this bag of pine cone ornaments. These are actually made of glass. I'm not really sure like how old they are or not, but I did really like them a lot. So I decided to get them, and they were really inexpensive. And then I also found this just like random miscellaneous full of ornaments, but I was most excited because they had three of these Disney ornaments that I collect that are kind of rarish. I think they were only released in Canada. When I do see them online, they're pretty expensive. I already have like 20, I think, so getting 3 more for, I think the whole bag was like $2 or $3 was pretty cool. So these are probably my favorite find, and I almost forgot to include them, but these vintage blow mold candles, again, my grandma had these exact same ones. She doesn't have them anymore. She actually sold them like fairly recently. But we found these on Facebook Marketplace for $25 for both. So I was super excited. They were like over an hour away, but it was definitely worth it to get them. And then also from that same trip, I did find a few wooden vintage ornaments. I got a mushroom and a horse, and then I got a really big rocking horse. He's like huge. I love it though. And then I collect like candles. So like that's what the snowman is, a candle. I don't think it's super old, but I do have some as far back as the 60s and 70s. That one's probably like 90s, but I thought it was cute anyway. And then I also found a whole bunch of colored lights. I'm always looking for colored lights, but the actual like vintage ones, I feel like they are a different color. When I plug in my new ones next to the vintage ones, they glow different. And so I'm always on the hunt to find old ones, and these ones were extremely inexpensive. The one bag even came with those little flowers that go on top of the lights. They were really popular when I was a kid. But yeah, overall, I didn't get that much, but I'm really, really happy with what I did get. And I don't know, I haven't really been thrifting. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I plan on posting Christmassy themed videos every 2 or 3 days now from now until Christmas. So, probably 3 or 4 videos a week. So anyway, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more Christmas content. Head over to my Instagram if you want to see even more, and I will see you soon.